Hi there everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos, and this time I'll be showcasing the tongue-tied kit from Scraptastic. So as you can see, I'm just putting out everything from my kit, and I've got an idea of how I want to start the layout, but all the rest is just go with the flow. So I'm just putting out all the papers I'll be using, and I love this background paper from Glitz, the really colorful one. I'll be using that as well as with the other one which is beneath with the handwriting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just want to tone down that really vibrant color, and I'm just cutting out a larger rectangle from that pattern paper with the script on it and just gluing that down, gluing it to the bottom part of the layout. Now once that is done, I'm going to add a bit more color to that white and black paper, and I'm going to use some watercolors, and these are watercolors that come in these little sheets. They are called peerless watercolors. And all you have to do is just add a bit of water to a brush and just dab that onto the paper and you get the color. Usually when I use watercolors, I will also add a bit of water to the paper just before, so that when I add the watercolors, they just flow over the page and the layout. So just using yellows and oranges and reds just to mimic the color in the background paper from Glitz. And I'm going to go a bit over that rectangle paper as well, just so it just flows together. So I'm going to keep on adding a bit of color until I'm happy with how it looks. You'll see a little hand popping in there from time to time. That is one of my sons. So once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to let that dry, and I'm going to start working on the layers with the photo. So I'll be using this paper from Studio Calico with the ampersands. And I'm just going to go around the borders again, just with a little bit of watercolor, just to tie everything together. So instead of inking it, I'm using watercolors. I'm just going to wipe off my cutting mat. So I'm going to be working on the layers. So I've got the photo, and beneath that the pattern paper, and I also wanted to add a bit of gold into the layout, and I'll be using some of the layers, some of the overlays that come in the kit. Now when I was working on the layout, I found that the watercolor part was just a bit too harsh, and so I decided to tone that down a bit, just using some gesso and going over the paper with an old card and some gesso, just adding a bit of white, and I think that looks really fun, and it adds some texture as well. And just to mimic the gold that is in the layer with the photo from the overlays, I'm going to take a smaller one and just add that to the top border and to the bottom border as well. And here I'll be creating a kind of diagonal flow over the photo, going from top to bottom or bottom to top. So the layers are coming along nicely. I'm starting to glue them down, and I'm also going to add some of the embellishments and just place them. So using these lovely stars from Studio Calico with the gold. And I'm also going to use some of these exclusive little die cuts that come in the kits. And I really love the one with a little tag that said "U" on it with the scripted font. And you'll see, I think this is one of the new trends for this year. The scripted handwriting. I've seen it on in quite a few collections as well. And just to mimic that fun little tag, I'm just going to write "U" with some black ink and a paintbrush. So here I'm just using Mr. Huey's just to write that. I did it really quickly. I still have to practice a bit on handwriting with a brush. And there are the layers, and I'm going to glue those down a bit, just dabbing off the excess mist there. So now I've got the overall design in place. I'm just going to add lots of little elements, and this is yet again just trial and error, placing embellishments. And I also decided to use this wood frame that came in the kit that said "Smile" on it. It adds some fun dimension and another texture to the layout as well. Here I'm going through the little die cuts. So these are die cuts from Studio Calico, and they're all vellum die cuts. So these are really, really cute. And there are little speech bubbles, you've got little hearts, you've got little cameras. And I'm just taking out the die cuts that have the same colors as in the layout. So I'm using pinks and oranges and also just a bit of black because the title or part of the title is in black and you've got the black ink and the black on the little tag there. This is the second lot of embellishments you get in the kit, or I think it's the add-on, this one. But nothing really caught my eye in that one. This cute little bow from Studio Calico as well. And I'm just going to stick down all those little embellishments and add others just as I fiddle around. And it's starting to look okay, but I still thought there was something missing. So I got out some circle punches. Here I went with scalloped circles and just punching out different sizes. I also used a really tiny heart punch. And I'm just going to place those little circles beneath the layers that I have already created. I think it just breaks up the color, which is really vibrant, and just adds a bit more flow. And I love adding little layers along the way. Just adding those little hearts that I punched out, sorry. And I'm just going to glue everything down. So it looks really good, but I wanted to add a bit more gold, and so I'm just taking out those stars again and just making little groups of 3 at the top, at the bottom, and just adding a couple more, even tucking some of those stars behind the layers, adding just a bit more glue just to flatten everything, and I think I'm almost there. All I have to do is add that little pin that I spotted that was in the kit with a little heart on it, and just write my journaling. I wanted the journaling not to be too visible, and so I opted for writing on the background paper with the letters, and so you just have to look a bit carefully for the journaling. Thank you so much, and see you very soon. Bye bye.